Good
Well, good
morning.
morning. Good morning. How you doing, David?
I'm good. Had a great night's sleep, caught up from lost rest over the course of the week. So, I'm alive kicking. We got one more day. It's been a long 2 weeks.
It has been a very long 2 weeks. Thank you everybody who's come, and if you've left and you come back, we appreciate you for stopping in. Hopefully, you have something nice, warm to drink. We have a great show for everybody today. I'm doing well. I gotta tell you all, we sometimes we have these morning meetings to start the show out, and we have to have a few minutes, and sometimes it just takes a second to hit that start button. So we appreciate you all for coming and sticking around. So, David, why has it been such a long 2 weeks? What's going on?
The Super Bowl. It's like you can't get to the game fast enough. It's like, oh, okay, we just played the NFC Championship game. Now you guys got to tough it out for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, you got to sit there and think about the fact that your team's in the Super Bowl and you don't know what's going to happen yet. For 2 weeks, you got to watch the media speculation, which I haven't done that, folks. I haven't paid attention to the talking heads at all in the last 2 weeks. Nope.
Well, I definitely have to tell you, I am super excited. It's the Super Bowl week, and the San Francisco 49ers, the team we root for here, uh, we're there. So I've been absorbing as much as I possibly can. It's some of it's fun to watch, and some of it's like a little bit repetitive. It is what it is. But I keep watching it because right now it's fun to watch it. It's fun, and I'm hoping it's going to continue to be fun. We got a game, we win it. I'm gonna watch all of it, everything. But if we don't win it, probably going to have to turn off the TV, probably going to have to go for a walk or go think about it. But I'm going to reflect, and I'm going to remember really what great of a season this was, how awesome it was, how lucky the 49ers are, how lucky we are as fans to see our team get this far. In the last 5 years, we've made it to the NFC Championship game, and we made it to the NFC Championship game three times, three times out of five, right? And we've made it to the Super Bowl twice. Is that correct, David? Or is it? Yeah, it's three, huh? Because we went to the NFC Championship game against. Well, last year was the Eagles. This year was the Lions. So let's go Lions, Eagles. Then it was the Rams, and then before that, so four out of the last 6 years we made it to the NFC Championship game, and 2 out of the last 6 years we've made it to the Super Bowl. Now, the team we're playing on the other side of the ball, they've made it to the Super Bowl quite a bit, and they made it to their championship game a lot, and they beat us in a Super Bowl. So this is kind of like would would the Kansas City Chiefs, if we would have beat them in 2019, would they be where we're at currently? Would they have been continuing to get to the top? Or, like, could roles be reversed in this situation? David, what's your opinion on the 2019 season? And do you see that happening this time? If we was to win this game, can we become the new Chiefs? Will the Chiefs become the Niners? Because both teams here are really good. And I really see these two teams being back in the playoffs next year.
We both have our cores together, both teams. They're going to be around for a few seasons. I think as long as the Chiefs have Mahomes, they're probably going to be in the playoffs. Not saying they're going to be the best team over there, but they're probably going to be in the playoffs as long as we have our core players, which, Warner, Bosa, maybe even Greenlaw, throw in, like, we acquired Travarius Ward because we needed a good corner, and then the offensive side, you have George Kittle, he's getting older. Hopefully he's got 3-4 good seasons left in him. And then, Debo, Ayuk, CMC, and Juice is getting older too. There's only so many years of your career there. But the cores of the teams are going to be there next season. I could see us being right back in the hunt. Just depends on the depth pieces and role players. What are we going to do in the offseason? But that's not the news yet, right? And yeah, I could see us winning this one. I could see us being like the Chiefs. We're always going to be a threat for the next several seasons. And if Brock Purdy only being in his second year, all these people calling him a game manager. Yeah, game managers don't play like that. Game manager is like James Richard Garoppolo. That's a game manager. You're winning games by 3 to 7 points and stuff like that. We won a lot of games by multiple scores this year because of Brock Purdy and his accuracy, his confidence, and his ability. So when it comes down to it, he's only going to get better. We have a bunch of young players, although we're the fourth oldest team in the league. We do have a bunch of young players. And we'll have a full draft coming up. I mean, that's kind of one of those, this could turn into a dynasty. And I think that's what the Chiefs have going on right now. Because, let's see, since 2019, they've made the Super Bowl, 1, 2, 3 times? Right? In the last 5 seasons?
2019, they made the Super Bowl. 2020, they made the Super Bowl. 2021, the Bengals made it. So let's keep that one back. Then they made it against the Eagles in 2022. And now, so 4 years out of the last 6 years, they've made it to the Super Bowl, where we've been the team to make it to the championship game. They've actually made it to the Super Bowl.
Yep. Yeah, so there is no parity in the AFC, folks. It's just the Chiefs.
It's just the Chiefs.
It's just the Chiefs. It's like, it's kind of one of those things. The reason NFL rules the draft, the salary cap, free agency, the reason all these rules are in place is to try to create parity in the league. And it's not working. It's not working in the AFC. But at this point, it's do or die. We got to win this game, man. We've got to get the chip. We got to. Kyle, it's his 7th season, which is kind of weird because Andy Reid won the Super Bowl in his 7th season with the Chiefs. That's just kind of strange things that line up, right?
And can I ask you, David? I think you might. I think a lot of people might know the answer to this, but how long has Andy Reid really been around the NFL? And did he start with Kansas City? Has he been to any other Super Bowls with any other teams? Has he taken any other teams to the NFC Championship game or AFC Championship game?
Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles, he had quite the squad back then. They couldn't get it done. They just couldn't win the Super Bowl. But they did make it to the championship game a lot. He had a good football team that was just maybe needed something else. Who knows?
Was he the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles when they coined their team the Dream Team? They had Terrell Owens and they had Michael Vick coming around, and I don't think those two played together, but they had what they called the Dream Team, and they had McNabb and Vince Young as their quarterbacks, and Owens had he had his squad. He was over there in Philadelphia, and there was a commercial before Owens went to Philadelphia. It was back in 2003, I want to say 2004. There was a commercial with Owens in a Nike commercial with Mr. Michael Vick. And it was a pretty cool commercial. They're running around and Michael Vick scrambling. And he throws a laser pass all the way down to the field to Mr. Terrell Owens. And the field looked like it was like 200 yards or something. It was like he was running forever and ever. And he catches the ball. And you look at their helmets and stuff, and they weren't necessarily in Eagle uniforms, but they had feathers on their helmets. It was very I don't know. It was like they were trying to say they were going to be somewhere one day. And you know what? Sooner or later, they both made it to the Eagles. They didn't play together, but they both made it. So I think that's a really neat commercial. So, David, with that, we got Andy Reid, who's been to a Super Bowl before, changes up teams, goes to a different team, takes that team to the Super Bowl. After he, takes a team with not necessarily a made or quarterback made team or quarterback ready team because you had Alex Smith, and he was what we called over here in San Francisco a game manager. He goes to Kansas City and he plays in Kansas City for several years, does well in the playoffs as well. At least gets his team up there. He was one of the better teams for several years with the Chiefs in the AFC. But I think they were usually one and done in the playoffs. Here comes Patrick Mahomes, and he's just a little bit more talented, a little bit more athletic, maybe a little bit faster than Alex Smith, and they ship Alex Smith out. And, now he's no longer in the league at all. But now Patrick Mahomes is with Andy Reid, and Andy Reid has a super team again, and he's gotten to the Super Bowl, and he's done really well. You look at Kyle, and Kyle's kind of been, in a way, the new Andy Reid. So, again, if Andy Reid wins the Super Bowl, he's kind of putting himself as one of the top coaches in the league, which he kind of has already done. But if he wins the Super Bowl, he puts himself in, I think, in third Super Bowl coach, to win a Super Bowl. I think there's only been 4 or 5 coaches in the league that's won 3 Super Bowls. You got Bill Walsh, Chuck Noll, and Bill Belichick. Not too many other coaches have won 3. Joe Gibbs has won 3. So you look at that and you're thinking, okay, you have the Chiefs. They could either potentially continue to be dominant, or they could be passing the torch. And the torch could be passed by Patrick Mahomes, and it could be passed by Andy Reid to Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy. Sort of like Tom Brady had passed the torch to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. What's your thoughts?
I feel like Kyle just needs to get over the hump, man. And he's been trying to get over that hill for 7 seasons at this point. Been to many NFC Championship games. Yeah, he does look like at this point, how he's winning games and has a great team. He is doing the same things Andy Reid did back with the Eagles. But it's almost like, he's been minus a quarterback the whole time. He's been doing it with James Richard Garoppolo, or we had Trey Lance, which he needs to actually play football and be developed, and what he needed takes a lot of time that we currently don't have. And then we had, Brock Purdy come in with the last pick of the NFL draft, and he showed up, and he's a good QB. He is. He's a good QB. He's not a game manager. He's a game changer.
Yeah.
And so this is the piece that Kyle's been missing. So this year is the year he puts it all together, and he's got to win it.
Would you say the difference between Alex Smith and Brock Purdy, if you was to say they're both game managers, right? And I love what you said, game changer. But would you agree that the difference between Alex Smith and Brock Purdy, you have Gore and you have CMC. When Alex Smith threw the ball to Gore, where did Alex Smith check the ball down to? The ground, the dirt balls, right?
Yep.
When Brock Purdy checks down to CMC, where is he throwing it to? In front of him, where he can catch the ball.
Run with it. Yes. So we can run with it, right?
Exactly. He can make a play on it. He's not catching the ball at his ankles. You're getting tackled right away. Poor Frank Gore. I swear, if the Niners somehow could give him a jersey tomorrow and let him sign up and get on the field one snap. I mean, like, oh my God. Or just let him sign up and stand on the sidelines. I mean, but I could feel the competitiveness in him. He would want to play. He wouldn't want to just stand there. And I don't know, but let's get Gore a chip. Let's get the whole fan base, the whole franchise a chip. So, David, this is an epic marquee matchup for the NFL right now. The 49ers are great for the NFL when the NFL is winning. When the NFL has the Niners at top, they sell. There's a couple teams that do really well for the NFL. The 49ers, as sad as I want to say it, the Cowboys. And then we have a couple others, and we won't go through the whole thing. But you have right now the Kansas City Chiefs, and they don't necessarily have the biggest market, but because they've been top couple of last years, we've said, right? They've been in the Super Bowl, they've been in the championship game, and even before that, they were in the playoffs. We mentioned that with Alex Smith. My question is this team, the 2019 team compared to the 2023 team now, has a lot of things that's changed. Their offensive weapons maybe isn't the same. Their defense is maybe comparable. We could potentially say that. And there's been players on both sides of the field that swapped. But if you're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, and we've talked about this all year, and we've talked about it all season, and we've talked about it all playoffs, and we've talked about it for the last 2 weeks. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is the more mature quarterback, and he definitely, if he's a game manager or a game changer, his ability to wait for the game to play out and take what is given to him. Do you feel there's any way that the Niners are going to be able to rattle him?
There is, and that's do what we did during the 2019 Super Bowl and get in the backfield and throw his timing off, throw him off his game. Our defensive backs and linebackers can also throw the offensive timing off by playing on the line of scrimmage and checking them right off the bat. There are certain little things you can do to throw Patrick Mahomes off. And Steve Wilks, he's a veteran coach, just like Patrick Mahomes is a veteran quarterback now, right? So I expect Steve Wilks to step up and have this team ready. Last championship game, it kind of looks like the defense wasn't expecting what Detroit was going to do, even though they did that all season. So, hopefully, and Steve Wilks has had 2 weeks. Last time he had 2 weeks, look at the game we put together against the Jags, right? So hopefully they can come out on fire, throw Mahomes off his game, throw his timing off, get in the backfield, maybe push him around a little bit, get your hands up in the passing lanes. There are things we can do to mess Mahomes up. And he is the top quarterback in the league right now. It's when it comes to maturity, I don't know if he's very mature because I saw him yelling at the refs for that flag that was actually a flag. But, he is a vet and he's been around the league long enough now to the point where he takes what he's given and he knows what he's got to do. Right.
Well, to his defense, that was a really cool play and they should have let it play out. When you have an opportunity to have a play like that, but no, I get it, but his maturity level, what I mean by that is he's seasoned. That should be maybe the better question, the better statement, where he's comfortable about knowing where to step and what to do and where to look for those flags and when to expect them. Let's pause for a second and let's shout out our great friend Bebop. Reminded me, and I do not want to overlook it. Shout out to Mr. Terry Dome, our good buddy. Happy birthday, buddy. Hopefully the Niners can get this dub for you, send you home with a good win, and I hope you have a great day. So if anybody else is in the chat and they see Terradome anywhere around for the next couple of days, make sure you tell them happy birthday. So thank you very much, everybody. Damien Lee's here too, and we appreciate that. So I would like to ask you, David, how do you think Priest Holmes is going to hold up against the 49ers this week?
Well, Priest Holmes is a good player. Yeah, it was. And at this point, I think he's going to hold up just fine, watching it on the television. But, yeah, he was a great player. I got a question for you. How do you think Brent Jones is going to do against their linebackers?
Well, I think we got to worry about Derek Thomas out there. If Derek Thomas is playing the way we expect him to play, then oh boy. But I'm really worried about how we're going to shut down Tony Gonzalez.
Oh yeah, he's a great tight end, one of the best all time. Yes, he really is. But you know what? They got to worry about Ricky Waters and his slashing and speed, though.
If Willie Lane comes to play, I'm telling you, it could be a wrap.
Well, if the game comes down to the last drive, though, we can rely on Jerry Rice. He is so clutch.
That is true. But if you kick the ball to Dante Hall, you better be ready because Dante Hall can take it to the house. We're having a lot of fun, folks. But if you see Trent Green out there and he's suited up, you better be worried. Or if you see our guy Christian, how do you say his name? The Nigerian running back, David Christian Okio. How do you say his name?
Okoye. Okoye. That's what it looks like. It looks like Okoye.
I would expect to see him at the game. Would you expect to see him at least in the stands?
Mm-hmm.
How different would the St. Louis Rams been if Trent Green would have stayed healthy? We would have never known about Kurt Warner.
You know, Kurt Warner was actually bagging groceries when he got the call from them to come play. You know, he wasn't on anyone's radars but theirs. And they had a great team around him. Similar type of team to what Brock Purdy has, but they were the greatest show on turf though. You know, and I mean that running back they had, very comparable to CMC, right? They both fell in the 1,000 club, just like Roger Craig. And they had some great wide receivers. The offensive firepower was their thing. Their defense wasn't that great. But I think they had a defensive lineman named Farr, and he wasn't the biggest, baddest guy on the planet, but he was very destructive. Had technique, to make up for it.
So we're going to continue, and I just want to pick your brain at this point for this question. Me and my little knowledge of the Raider history and my family being primarily Raider fans, there's a running back named Marcus Allen, who the owner and him, the Oakland Raiders, the Los Angeles Raiders, they didn't necessarily get along. And there was a lot of other players during that time that were really good. They had another running back named Bo Jackson, who was really, really a phenomenal athlete who played multiple sports. So Bo Jackson was on the team, and he was getting the nod a lot over Marcus Allen. So Marcus Allen eventually got traded to Kansas City. So in your opinion, at that point, did Marcus Allen go on to have a better career with Kansas City? Do you think he was able to open up a little bit better? Because when you go back and you listen to him talk, he does not talk highly of all of his time with the Raiders, Al Davis, of anything. So do you think that was one of the better things that happened in his career, being able to be traded to Kansas City, who gets to play against the Raiders twice a year?
Honestly, it was probably the best thing that happened to him, because Al Davis used to run that squad, and he ran it a certain way, and Marcus Allen is one of the best running backs in the NFL all time. Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Bo Jackson. Man, I got to shout out that the epic commercials that guy used to have back in the day. I'm old. I remember it. All the other old heads in the chat, they're going to remember it. But Bo knows that there was a big commercial series about Bo knows, because he played, multiple sports. And it was kind of crazy. But yeah, it was, Marcus Allen, he actually had 1,759 rushing yards for the Oakland Raiders in one season. I'm looking at his career numbers. But yeah, he went to the Chiefs at the later part of his career. He played for a long time. He played for 15 seasons in the NFL. That's unheard of for a running back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think our guy Roger Craig played for 11 seasons, if I'm correct. I think he played for 8 for the Niners, 2 for the Raiders, and 1 for the Vikings, if I'm correct. So that'd make 11. But 15 seasons, folks, in the 80s, when the league didn't have the rules that they have now, when players were allowed to. So David, with that thought, has the league gotten softer and players gotten weaker because the rules have gotten maybe safer for players? Because these guys, some of these guys played for a very long time. Maybe some of these guys got knocked out and their careers were a lot shorter than, some of these. So is that the thing? The dominant players got to play for a very long time because the strong will survive, and the weaker players just didn't survive and they got their butt knocked out, and that was it. That was the end of their career, and they went on to be plumbers and UPS drivers, or what happened there, David?
Or grocery baggers at Walmart, not sponsored YouTube. But but yeah, it's kind of weird because back then football was a very brutal sport. There were big hits, no flags being thrown for the big hits, and it was a rough time on players, and you had to be special. The last 15 seasons in the league, you have to be a special player, and quarterbacks, the longer we go with the new rules, we're going to see them last 15, 20 years in this league because of how much protection they get. But running backs, they don't get the same level of protection. They get hit. They, carry the load. They get bruised up, bumped, injured. Over the course of their career, they get, they get beat up really good. Like Frank Gore is one of these special talents. He played till he was 35, and that's almost unheard of these days. Running backs, by the time they hit the 3-0, they're pretty much done these days.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to me because like you can I guess you can pick different parts of the history, but you look at John Brody. He played back in the 50s all the way up to the 70s. I think he was on our team in 1958 or 59 when we got John Brody, and he didn't start the entire time, but he was on our team until like 1973 or something around there, 1974. Mm-hmm. You have Joe Montana who got hurt, but still was on our team from like 1981, 1979 when he got drafted till 1993, 94, I think was his last season. So that's still a pretty good career. And now you're looking at players, and it seems like some players, maybe it is because of injuries, maybe it's because of their talent, but I think with the rule changes, they're trying to make it where players play longer. But I don't think they're getting the same results, David. And I don't think the injuries are stopping either. I think players, maybe because the players were allowed to play the way they were playing, like for Jim Brown, for example, he was a very dominant player. Maybe he was the best player on the field at all times, or maybe he was the best player in the league during his whole time. And maybe players have gotten better. They've gotten better training. But what I'm saying is his vision on the field. He knew what to do. He knew where to run, how not to get hurt. And maybe that's what they should be teaching, is where you should be playing, where you should look, where you shouldn't be standing there or jogging, when the football team is on the field.
Well, I have a prime example, a guy that knew when to get down so he didn't get hurt. Tim Brown of the Oakland LA Raiders.
Yes.
And he had a reputation. Oh, he's kind of a wuss. He'll catch the ball, and someone will be about to tackle him, and he'll go down.
He played for a long time.
He made a lot of business decisions, but he was around for a long time because of those business decisions.
Yeah, he'd get a first down and drop. And that's what you start seeing Jerry Rice do later in his career and earlier in his career too. But my dad always told me that too. Jerry Rice would get a first down, drop, because he didn't want to get hit. And it wasn't necessarily that he didn't want to get hit. It was get the first down, get down. The offense is going to get the ball again. The clock's still moving. Come on, let's hurry up and score. And maybe because Jerry Rice was so close to the Bay, to Tim, Brown, or maybe because, they were on the same side of the country, they probably watched each other a lot, but I think they both played very similar, like catch the ball, get down. He called it a business decision, but it's kind of smart football. And if you look at them, if you look at their numbers, you look at the longevity of how long they played. I mean, why not play like that? I'm not saying, everybody go out and be Wes Walker, but not everybody needs to go out and take every hit. Just play with your mind. Don't let your body get tore up because, you're abusing it because you think you're strong enough. That's, I think, our problem with not necessarily a problem, but we do need to try to store the save the longevity of Debo and Kittle. They play with a lot of violence, and you're never going to take that away from them. But I do think over time their bodies are going to take the brunt of that. They're gonna get worn down, beaten down, and we've seen it multiple times this year. Debo, let's say it, he was running his mouth at the beginning of the game, at the Browns game. Then they get into the scuffle. I think he hurt his shoulder at the scuffle. Then we see him run the ball. He gets tackled into the ground. And then he comes out. The Niners lose that game. So is that our problem? We don't need to focus around the players that have big mouths, or some of these guys needing to just, I mean, again, run your mouth, say what you want to say, do what you got to do, get yourself pumped up. But if you get hit and it takes you out of the game, people are going to start saying you're glass. And I don't think any of our players are glass. But again, some of these players that get hit a lot, maybe they need to be thinking a little bit more about, saving those hits for the field and not for the fights before the game. What do you think on that?
I think that's true. Let's not start a fight before the game. We should be all business, and no celebrations after making a big play. If you want to do a first down signal, okay. Let's not be celebrating like we won anything tomorrow. But yeah, it's business decisions will help a guy's career. And, some people say, oh, this guy's not willing to take the hit. He's going to be around for a while. So why should he be taking these hits right now? And I mean, the NFL, it's kind of, it has vastly changed from when I started watching. I watched them. People used to body slam a quarterback into the ground, and, the other team was literally looking to knock the player out.
Yeah.
If you knock the player out from the game, you're getting high fives, and everyone's praising you for knocking that player, for injuring that guy and knocking him out of the game. And now it's not really like that.
Now
they've shied away from that.
Right? Now it's let's find his mom. Let's find his mom and zoom in on his mom in the stadium. And, look, see who else is in the stadium that could be his friends and family. And let's just make it super gloomy and super dark. And this is the end of the world. And the guy got hurt. Yes, the guy got hurt. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the person's injury or anything like that. But let's get out there. Let's move the person off the field. Let's be, delicate. Let's be ginger about it. But let's not overhype this injury and make everybody in the world see that this could be the worst moment for this woman or this family's moment in their life, and you're highlighting it and putting it on television. Thank you very much. I mean, like there's some moments and stuff like that, David, it's cool that we know what Sam Darnold's parents look like, but at a certain point we don't need to know that. I mean, it's neat that we know what Brock Purdy's dad looks like and stuff, but at a certain point it's like when you start making these people famous and you start making them bigger than what the game really is, then you get all these weird people to start following them and harassing them and doing all this weird stuff. Death threats happening to family members because their player who was on the field got hurt and they can't play in a championship game or a Super Bowl. So now their family is getting, no, guys, it's a game. And sure, I want to see the Niners win and I want to see a good game between the Chiefs and but to attack someone's family because a player did something, fumbled or did something, no. To be thankful to be able to witness the game and see our team get there. And, you got to win some, you got to lose some. If you don't win, you can't lose. And if you lose, you can't win, right? And I don't know, David, it's one of those weird old questions. Is it better to have loved and lost or to never have loved at all? I don't want to lose the Super Bowl, but is it better to at least reach the Super Bowl and get there and be in the moment right now than to be the Cleveland Browns or to be the Detroit Lions, or how about the Cardinals? Or, you want to keep going down the road? I mean, the Niners, this is our, 8th Super Bowl appearance. We've been to the championship more than any other team in the league. I think 19 times now. I'm freaking excited. Shout out to Tom Grossi. If you guys didn't know, Tom Grossi, the Packers cast, he won Fan of the Year. And it's really cool that the NFL has 32 players, 32 teams, and you get an opportunity to vote on fan of the year for every player, every team. So I'm not sure who the 49ers fan of the year was, but I know Tom Grossi was nominated by the Packers. So the nominees get sent to Las Vegas, and there they add up all the votes and stuff. And Mr. Tom Grossi, who did the 30 for 30, who went to St. Jude and donated over, oh my gosh, he donated over $500,000, I believe, to St. Jude's. And that's just totally awesome. But he went to all 30 NFL stadiums, and he is our 2023 fan of the year. So congratulations, Tom.
Oh, 30 for 30, and he donated all the proceeds to charity. He deserves it.
Oh, heck yeah.
He does. He deserves it.
Yeah, he's done he does his YouTube channel, he does the raids for other YouTubers. You know, he'll have a whole bunch of people streaming, and he'll tell them to go to someone else's stream and raid them and give them likes, subscribes, and helps other people out. And great guy. If you guys haven't checked him out, type in Tom Grossi or Packercast, and definitely go give him a like and subscribe. It means a lot. It really does. Got to meet him. My whole family got to meet him, and I got to tell you, he's got a big heart for football. And again, if you can donate something, you know, to some kind of organization, St. Jude's is a great one. Anything like that, Ronald McDonald House. There's a lot of great charities that do things for children, and yeah, we really do appreciate it. So, David, how you feeling? How are you feeling? What's gonna keep you up till tomorrow? I mean, the game, but what's the one thing that you don't want to see the Niners do, and what's the one thing that you want the Niners to do?
Well, so the one thing that I want the Niners to do is win. I mean, any way humanly any way possible. We'll just win the game. And as it comes for what's going to keep me up at night, there's really nothing. You know, no matter what happens, the world's going to keep spinning, folks. Life will go on, you know, but life would be a lot better with a W tomorrow, though. You know, wearing my Niners gear around town, smiling at the other fans, waving at them. Oh, you know, you know, we have a diverse fan base here. There's everything, you know, and it's kind of insane to go to a sports bar because you have like all the teams fans are kind of grouped up in there, you know, and it's all over the place. I've seen the group of Detroit Lions fans, though. It's not very big. I kind of feel bad for them. There was like 2 or 3 people there, you know.
Well, they got their one shot, you know. We'll just leave it. You know, they can go back to the 8 Mile or wherever they're from. And no, yeah. Anyways, love it. I love it because, you know, they had a great season. A lot of people were thinking, hey, this is an upcoming team. The team that beat them really handedly, that kind of changed their direction, I think, was the Ravens. After they lost to the Ravens the way they did, everybody was like, whoa, the Lions aren't the team that they were. It kind of happened to us too when the Ravens played us. Our defense kind of hasn't been the same since. I think our offense has gotten back on track, but it seemed like we got a little rusty there. We got complacent, I think. And then we lost to the Rams later, and it's just like, oh, I hate it when we lose to the Rams, but it is what it is.
I hate it when we lose to the Rams.
You know, I hate it. I really do. But folks, it's been a lot of fun, and we got one more game. So hopefully you guys can share it with and watch it with someone who is able to sit down and enjoy it with you. And it's going to definitely be a good game. David will be streaming tomorrow on both our channels. Folks come back in. We'll have the suits and ties on. Maybe the gold jackets and the ties. I don't know. We'll figure that out. And after that, we'll be doing a show on David's channel on Monday, Niners Coast to Coast. It might be, I don't know if it's the last episode or what we're going to do, go on hiatus, but we'll figure that out. And we'll definitely let everybody know. Thank you, Mariah, for coming. Steve-O, Bebop, everybody's here. Crazy Juice, appreciate you all. We really do. Don Donson, Sully 684, John J. Let's go. Edgar Ascoli, David Corona, everybody. You guys are awesome. You guys really make everybody here. It's a community, and we appreciate you all. So keep the vibes up. Keep going. The one thing that's going to keep me up is I'm going to be smoking a pork butt tonight. So I would like to make sure it's done right. We're going to probably have it on for a couple hours overnight. So when we get up in the morning, it's going to be ready to, I want it where you can pull that bone straight out. I don't know. Maybe we'll take some pictures. Yeah. So we're going to try to do that. My brother's got his Traeger over here. So we're going to have some fun with it. And yeah, make some not jalapeno, bell pepper, bacon bell pepper. Yeah, we're gonna definitely do some fun. So maybe I can have some pictures for the after game party. But tomorrow, guys, what we will be doing is talking a little bit more about what we're having for our Super Bowl party. It's whatever. If you're only having a bag of chips, that's cool. Some years, some games, that's all you need. If you are having an opportunity where you can have a little bit more food, cool. We're gonna have a small little, not too small, but we're gonna have a little party tomorrow, so we're gonna have a little bit extra on the table. So tomorrow in the chat, if you guys want to come, drop your recipe, drop your favorite barbecue sauce, whatever you got going on tomorrow. We're gonna be talking tomorrow. You might see us bust out the aprons tomorrow. So just stay tuned. David, the one thing that's going to keep me up is that pulled pork. The one thing that would make me sleep really well is knowing the Niners are in the Super Bowl, and it don't matter. Whatever happens, rain, snow, or shine, I'm going to be watching the game, and I'm going to be enjoying it with my family. So that's going to make me sleep really well tonight. And again, I love how you said it. Win or lose, the world still goes on. We're 40 fans. We stay faithful, and this is the best time ever, right? So yes. Shout out to everyone. I really do. And David, if you guys hadn't seen David's channel last night, go check out David's channel. We were streaming on a bunch of people's channels last night, but the Friday night show was hosted by David. He had a pretty good show last night. And, what else you got, David? What else you got going on? You doing anything tonight? Are you gonna be streaming, or are you gonna go tailgate?
Well, at this point, we got the coffee talk tomorrow morning, the suit and tie affair, folks. That'll be streamed on both channels. And then we got Niners Coast to Coast on Monday. I don't have any more plans on doing anything tonight. And there will be some changes coming to the, Wednesday and Friday night show. Because of some things that I don't like that transpired. So they will be fixed, and everything will get better moving forward.
Okay, definitely keep your notifications out and just listen to the things. We got some breaking news in the chat. Steve-O dropped it. So here we go. Congratulations. Hey, this is all about having fun. Sometimes you meet people, and sometimes, people come back. It's really cool. It's free to subscribe. And, when you see somebody, growing and stuff, you want to help, you want to be excited. You want to share the love. And I'm really proud of it because I have known her for a little while, and I want to say maybe around 300 subscribers, maybe. But congratulations, Mariah. Mariah's hit 700 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the 49er Faithfully pod, please go check them out. She's got a great channel.
Yeah, right.
Great channel. So she's got a cool co-host. She does things with other people around the league, around the 49ers group as well. So she's active on Twitter. Follow her, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Congratulations. That is so cool. So we got a lot of good stuff going on. This is a lot of good vibes. I think this is going to help the Niners. This is going to put the Niners over the top. I really, truly feel it. I got to feel it. So, David, tomorrow, if, we get good news and, not tomorrow, when we get good news, David, we got to speak this into existence. Folks, come back. We will we will figure out a time, and we will be going live tomorrow. We will, hopefully we will be singing our victory song. So tune in tomorrow, and we'll be there. David, I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning and going from there. Everybody else, appreciate you all. David, would you like to send us out?
Hey, go Niners. And as Corey Davis would say, F all 31 other teams.
Thanks, folks. Stay faithful, and we will see you. Quest for 6, Quest for Laura Cat, Corey Davis continues. All right, go Niners.